Alright, what is up, everybody? Hello. Welcome. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. Pre-stream tonight will not be very long. As I've said earlier, I need to get through the weekend preview because we are going to be attempting to finish Daylight tonight, immediately following the weekend preview. So there's not a heck of a lot to really talk about in the weekend preview, quite honestly. I'm sorry, in the pre-stream. Let me change that. In the pre-stream, quite honestly. Besides that, I went to dinner with my parents. We had some good food. We are basically counting down the restaurants that we want to hit up while I'm still here living in Connecticut, which is not going to be for much longer. In fact, probably another week or two, it'll be exactly 1 month left. Which I know is kind of crazy to think, but hey, that's reality, right? So yeah, we're going to get through the weekend preview here. It's a pretty interesting week, release-wise, schedule-wise. I think there's going to be a lot of content, a variety of content, and depending on what kind of a fan you are of what kind of content you're looking for, there's going to be a ton of different stuff this week, which is good. It's always good to have variety rather than the same stagnant stuff over and over, right? And I am looking forward to this week very much. There's some special stuff going on this week I need to mention, which we will. Okay. And we'll go from there. I hope that, I don't know, a lot of people said that, I guess last week there were exams or something. I don't know where on earth there were exams in the month of April. But maybe that was some international deal. I don't know, but I am trying out some different stuff this week, as you'll see in the weekly preview. This should be pretty interesting. And I hope that people will at least give it a shot. It was actually pretty interesting because I just read a thread on my forums on thekingofhate.com. Some people saying, gee, Phil's views have really, really declined over the years. And people were kind of shooting the shit about different reasons why it would have happened. I think that some people were really right on track. Some people were incredibly off base. It's always interesting to hear what a variety of people who are outside of the business, you know what I mean? Just viewers of the content versus people who are here doing it on a daily basis and seeing the way the business works and getting the feedback, seeing what their ideas and what their notions are about what could be going on. It is quite interesting. I will definitely admit that. And I actually typed up an incredibly long but detailed post. You guys know me. I can never say anything in 2 sentences. I always have to explode. So I wrote a big post about it. And that's actually the last thing I did before I turned on the weekend preview stream. And, it is what it is. Views will decline and views will level out. And I think that's what's finally happening. In the year of 2014, we're finally going to see things level out at a certain level. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be expecting as, someone who does this as a daily thing, as a way to bring in income and financially support myself. I think what it was is there's a big boom back in 2010, 2011, where people kind of knew me as one of the top guys, if not the go-to guy, to see a guy who really didn't have a creative niche. It wasn't like I played one kind of game or I did one kind of thing. It was me playing all kinds of games. Mr. Joe Average, the underdog, right? I wasn't some overproduced company like IGN or anything like that. I was just a guy playing games and having fun and talking shit. And a lot of people watched it to watch my fails, and some other people watched it to laugh along with me, and some people watch it because they like to see a guy who was pretty decent in Street Fighter talk shit. And at that point, it was a big popular fad on YouTube. Wow, gaming. It's so big. And so this is one of the guys who's doing it on a daily basis. And, it blew up. And ever since then, it really has, over the years, kind of gone into a downward I don't want to even call it a slope because it really isn't a slope. It's been a very, very slow leveling out. And I think that's where we are right now. A lot of people look at my views now and they say, oh my God, they're half of what he used to get in 2010. It's like, yeah, but that was a completely different situation in 2010. How many people were known for Let's Plays in 2010? How many people consistently played the game, every game in 2010? How many people, you know what I mean? We're doing this kind of stuff. It's a different place now. Now you've got literally thousands of people who rush to YouTube to do it as a way to make money when they saw other people becoming successful doing it, and that's when things become oversaturated. How do you know what the best playthrough is? You know? I got a tweet from someone saying, Phil, you won't believe it. PewDiePie was playing Dark Souls 2, and in his playthrough, he got the same glitch you did when fighting the Smelter Demon. So I said, you know what? I'll take the bait. I'll click the link, and I'll see what it is. And I clicked it, and it is PewDiePie's fight with the Smelter Demon, titled Hardest Boss Ever, which is funny because at this point, the game was, 2-3 months old? It was March, so it's about 2 months old, month and a half old, and he's only at the Smelter Demon. Now, that's how slow he uploads stuff. But that's because he gets so many views, he doesn't have to rush and upload shit. He doesn't have to work that much. You can compare that with someone who uploads a ton of videos, you know what I mean? But I'm like, so just now people are watching content that I put out a month and a half ago. Damn. But of course, because he's PewDiePie and he's Mr. Popular, he'll get the 5 billion views on that video. Not because of the quality of the gameplay, right? Because he's PewDiePie and he's Mr. Popular. 2-3 years ago, 2010, 2011, I was the same way. Was I doing anything amazingly different from anyone else? Probably not. But there was a wave of popularity there. It was all about timing. And I just happened to be there at the right time, at the right place. And now I'm trying to stabilize the business so that I know leveled out exactly what to expect on a monthly basis. I can budget things. This is the kind of stuff I could never do. I didn't know what I was going to bring in. One month I could bring in a ton, the next month I could bring in nothing. And I didn't know what to expect, Finally now it's looking like it's starting to level out. I'm starting to finally see the level of the hardcore fan base. The people who will watch my content no matter what I'm playing, no matter what I'm doing. They like the vlogs. They like the gameplay. These are the people who are here to stay. People who, when I say something that maybe they don't agree with, like I don't like a certain game or a certain genre or a certain thing, they don't rip their hair out of their head and say, fuck DSP for disagreeing with me or not having the same opinion as me, because they understand that there's so many people in the world and everyone has a right to and can have a different opinion, and it's not the end of the world. You don't have to hate someone who you don't agree with, as long as you find what they do entertaining. If you like my gameplay but you don't like my stance on something, it doesn't mean you can't watch the gameplay. There's plenty of people on this planet that I disagree with. There's people who I used to work with, in person for years in an office environment. I distinctly disagreed with things about them and their lifestyle and stuff. Didn't mean I couldn't work with them, right? I think that's kind of the mentality that these people on the internet have now. It's this closed-minded mentality. It's kind of ridiculous if you think that there's one thing that's, oh my God, he said in the year 2009 that Minecraft is dumb and Notch is an idiot, even though he blatantly admitted in the video that he has no knowledge of Minecraft or Notch, and he was basing his judgment off of an uninformed, misinformed comment that someone sent him. So because he said that in 2009, I just found him in 2014. I hate his guts, and I'll never watch his stuff again, and I'll make fun of him until he dies. That's kind of what it is now. It's so different than when I started. It was, well, here's a guy who's playing games. We get to see the game ahead of time. We get to see this cool gameplay. It's fun to see that, to see someone do a let's play of a game, and it didn't have to be a stupid gimmick, and there didn't have to be all kinds of nonsense involved with it, overproduction, face cam funny faces, and screaming at the top of your lungs, or whatever the gimmick is that these other let's players used. It wasn't needed back then for me. I could just play a game naturally, have fun, and everyone loved it. It was, again, it was the fad. I'm absolutely positive there were plenty of people who maybe weren't watching because they liked the content. They were watching because the content was popular. And that's a major problem with YouTube, is that people watch it because it's popular. Oh, because, I search for Spider-Man and this video pops up, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and it's got 4 million views on it. That must be good. I'm going to watch that before I watch anything else that's Spider-Man. And that's what used to happen. In the search algorithm, I had a few videos that popped up that had tons of views, and because of that, I got ridiculous views monthly on those videos. And then YouTube changed their search algorithms last year, and all that went away. All that free traffic, free drive, free pull-in went away, and I really don't have any way to attract new people to my content anymore. And let's face it, with all the anti-DSP defamation that's happened in the past year, it's going to be incredibly hard to bring in new fans. So what I really need to focus on is just entertaining the people that are still here, right? And then naturally there will eventually be some growth. If you look at my subs on YouTube, they have consistently grown. Ever since last year, I changed up my upload styles. But it's going to be a slow, organic progression. It's not going to be a giant, wow, something happens and now the popularity spikes again. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, okay? No, it won't. Never. I cannot, realistically, I can't think of one thing that could possibly happen, right, that would do that. Not one thing. Seriously. Unless somehow I became a movie star, even that wouldn't work. Why would people watch a movie star play a video game? I don't know. But it is what it is. I'm not sad. I'm not disappointed. It's something that I've been said for years was going to happen, that my views were going to even out, and that's what's happening now, And I'm okay with it as long as, it's still enough to support myself and what I want to do. And right now it is. And even though we're in a slower period, we've got newer games coming out this week, coming out for the rest of the month of May into June. We'll finally, hopefully by mid-June, when I am planning on moving, we'll have had at least a burst of popularity when it came to things like Watch Dogs and Mario Kart 8. Wolfenstein's in there. Drakengard 3 is in there. This week we got MLB. All the stuff that we'll be talking about shortly. Hopefully that stuff will reinvigorate the viewing audience. I think there was a lot of disappointment this week, especially with Spider-Man. A lot of people were, tuned in to see Spider-Man, watch the first couple videos, and were like, why does this game not look anything like the last one? Why does it look pathetic? Why does the gameplay look so shitty? Because it was a shitty, rushed game, I guess. I don't know what else to say. So hopefully, in the next, couple of weeks to a month, you'll see the small boom, the small increase. And then probably when I move and I'm not making content, you'll see the decrease. And then during the summer, when I'm in my new home and I'm doing new series and I'm doing new things, you might see a slight increase. And then it'll slow down in August. You'll see a decrease. And then, of course, the hardcore gaming season will come, and then you'll see an increase. This is how it works. But I'm happy where I am right now. Hopefully you will continue to watch. Hopefully you are enjoying the content, and that's why you're here, right? All right, so that's enough for the pre-stream. Let's do the weekend preview. Get it done, and then we will switch over and we will finish off Daylight tonight, okay? All righty, let's do it.